Hi, everybody. It's David Porter. I am here in a crowded cafe on a weekday afternoon on a stormy, rainy day, and I'm going to try to make a video and see how much the background, sorry, can't articulate speech, the background noise gets filtered out and the mic can pick up my voice. Okay, so everybody, I have a few additional thoughts on personal security, and this one is going to be about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is for when you are working on your device. The many of the same principles of personal security apply to cybersecurity. Number one, you want to always make it hard for the bad guys. Never make it easy for anyone who wants to do anything to hurt you. Give yourself as many options as possible and use a layered defense. Think of security, whether it's personal security in a vehicle or on foot or at home, or if it's on your device, in terms of layers. You want multiple redundant layers. So here's some of your options. Number one, get a good malware blocker. And I have included links to several of the more popular free malware programs that are readily available online that will help keep your device safer. And all of these companies that offer freeware also offer paid versions. Uh, you pay extra, you get a little extra protection. Another option are if you use Mozilla Firefox, there are a number of what do they call them? Add-ons, um, where your personal security can be enhanced. And again, I've listed those. Their Ghostery is one of my favorites, and there are some good, reliable YouTube ad blockers and private, and also some good add-ons that will warn you if the site you're on contains malware. And I have 4 or 5 of those installed for redundancy. The people around me left, so the noise level's gone down a little bit, and hopefully you can hear me better now. Another option is use of a VPN, virtual private network. Think of when you're working on your laptop, you are basically sending out a signal that anyone with the proper knowledge and equipment and motivation can eavesdrop on. So instead of just putting all your information out there for that anyone could see, you use a VPN, a virtual private network, and it's like talking through a tunnel to whoever is on the other end. Can a VPN be cracked? Of course it can, of course, but it is going to safeguard your privacy much better than not using a VPN. Another option is you can use a browser with high security, such as StartPage or Tor. StartPage is what I use, and it has a much higher level of privacy and personal information protection than Google or Bing or Yahoo or many of the other web browsers. Now, if you really want to take it to the next level on personal security, you can use a Tor browser. And again, I'm including a link for this. A Tor browser is a secure browser, maximum security, maximum privacy, and as I understand it, it's going to bounce your IP and your search results to to multiple servers around the world, and I believe they're up to 6,000 different options. So you're going to be extremely difficult to track. Once again, it's possible. Nothing is foolproof. Nothing is going to be offer you complete protection, but it will offer you enhanced protection. Now, if you really want to frighten yourself, if you're too happy today, if you're in too good a mood and you want to bring yourself down, here's how. Google your full name. Google your full name, including middle initial. add the city that you live in or the state that you live in, or state or city you used to reside in, and the amount of information that will be kicked back to you within seconds is downright disturbing. If you were a stalker pre 1995, you had your work cut out for you. Or if you were a private investigator, you had your work cut out for you. You wanted to find somebody, you would probably have to go to a county hall of records or a town hall of records and access public records on them. And what that meant in those days was books, a series of books, multiple volumes that could have been 6 or 8 inches thick. And you might have to sign in. You might have to make multiple trips there and spend the whole day there. You would be noticed. You would be noticed by the people who work there, especially if you were there for 3-4 days in a row, all day long, because that is possibly what it would entail to locate the information that you want. So you're going to be noticed. You may have to sign in. You're going to leave a paper trail, and your anonymity is now compromised. And if you were a stalker, while you're doing this, you'd have a few days to cool off, to reconsider the wisdom of your actions, and maybe back off. Not anymore. Today, if somebody wants to find you, all they have to do is enter your name and type your name into a browser, into Google or wherever, and hit enter, and a huge amount of information about you will become available. And there are a number of services that are clearinghouses for personal information, and I call them Stalker Services because that's how I see them. That's what I think they are. And as somebody who has not one but 2 stalkers that periodically pursue me, personal safety and security online is a very high priority. So the best thing to do, here's what I do. I Google myself periodically, and if I find my name on one of these stalker sites, and these include things like the White Pages and Intellius, I go there and I find the privacy or opt-out section. I email them and I tell them to get my information off their site ASAP. And they, generally speaking, they're pretty good about doing that. And now, while there are many, many of these sites, you don't have to go through each one of them and remove yourself and then go back and check in a month and scour the internet for your records and remove yourself again. You remove yourself from the top 5 or 10 once, and that will tend to infiltrate to many of the other finder services. People Finder is another one, because what a lot of these places do is they consult other finder services and just copy that information onto their own site. So the good news is, remove yourself for one, it tends to infiltrate for many others. And yeah, I'll contradict what I said a minute ago. Yes, you do have to keep going back periodically to make sure that you are removed from easily accessible public records. And here's a conundrum: if you have a business like I do, you have to expose yourself to a certain degree. That's not what I meant. Don't be a weirdo. You have to have the name of your business and your name and your contact information visible if you want to do business. So that's a compromise and a trade-off. You have to ask yourself what kind of lifestyle you have, and as accurately as possible, determine your threat level. If you have a high-risk lifestyle, what I refer to as the job, police officer, corrections officer, private security, judge, a defense attorney or prosecutor, or forensic psychologist, psychiatrist, or other forensic provider, or expert witness, or DCF caseworker, something where you are going to regularly be in contact with people who may not like you very much because of the choices you've had to make doing your job. You are going to have to pay more attention to private security than the average individual. If you have the joy, that was sarcasm, of having a stalker or 2, you need to take enhanced security precautions. And A lot of you watching this are probably going into a higher risk profession, like I just named, police, corrections, forensics. So you want to start thinking about taking personal precautions early on, before your career even really gets started, while you're still a student, and just start making good personal security a habit. And here's the thing, everybody, and part of the reason why I'm doing this, my entire undergraduate and graduate education never mentioned a word about this. Not a word that I can recall. This is something I had to educate myself about once I started working as a primarily as a criminal psychotherapist and substance abuse counselor. I had to start educating myself about this, and I've done expert witness testimony as well. You're not always going to say things or do things that people are going to like, and some people hold grudges, is the short answer. So you need to be serious about personal security. And even if you're not in a higher risk profession, there are dangerous people out there. Now, in the cafe I'm sitting in right now, um, I've been in here before, and I've seen a man in here who is on the sex offender registry, and he has committed some very serious violent crimes and sexually based offenses, including homicide. And you have no way of knowing that if you looked at him. Um, Predators and monsters don't always look the part. Very often, they look like everybody else. They blend in, they wear camouflage. They have to look like everyone else, and they can't appear overly threatening or creepy or weird, because then they're going to have trouble finding victims. So never be a good victim. If you want to be bad at something, be a terrible victim. Okay. I hope this turned out okay, because, again, some competition from background noise. So thank you very much for watching, and please hit subscribe. I am signing off in. I need to shave. Man, run a razor over this mug. Okay, signing off in 3, 2, 1.